everybody that's in that locker room has been through shit in their lives and has made it to this point. They've made it to this point because of the shit they've been through. And so that adversity has made a lot of us in that locker room where we are today. And we got to remember that, we got to internalize that, and we got to, make sure that the adversity that we're facing right now, we're able to get through and make sure we get better from it.
Welcome back to Between the Vines. This is the post-Dallas episode, and it is a somber feeling today. Mm-hmm. We did not play that well.
No.
It was a big game.
Very big game.
Could have established dominance.
I mean, after getting smacked around against San Fran, you thought that Dallas was going to be a bounce-back game. Dom was on punishment in timeout.
We really got to see what kind of an impact taking him from the sidelines has on the team.
Yeah,
They just seemed like chaos over there.
Oh, yeah.
He must be the organizer.
He must be the guy. Going into this game, well, you know what, before we even get into it, man, first of all, like, subscribe, share. Anytime you guys, we're trying to get better at
comment.
that. Yeah, comment, like, subscribe, share.
If you like our product,
yeah,
you like what we're bringing to you,
yeah,
that all helps.
It all helps. Yeah, we're at William Heritage here in Mullica Hill.
Hello, I'm Penny Heritage from William Heritage Winery. Our winery is a multi-generation family farm. In 1999, we started growing wine grapes, and it's been our passion ever since.
What are we drinking here?
This right here, we're drinking, getting ready for the Reserve BDX Blanc.
The BDX Blanc.
As we've always done, we found something to cheers about. It's not much that we can bring up, except for Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Cheers to you.
Yes.
Because on December 10th, 2023, against the Dallas Cowboys, you outscored your offense. You were almost the team's leading scorer.
You were almost, because if it weren't for
Mighty Leg,
you would have led the team in scoring.
Yes.
But, all right, that's it.
That's a hell of a resume ad for the young man.
Hell of a resume ad by the young man, man. Cheers. Cheers to you.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a nice blend, a white blend.
Mm-hmm. It almost has like a peach-type taste to it.
Yeah. It's crisply refreshing.
Yeah, definitely the right way to start this off.
Start with the positives.
Okay,
so we wipe that out real quick.
Okay, so the positives.
It was a big day for our guys, the specialists, right?
Yes.
We had 2 field goals from Mighty Leg.
Mighty Leg.
We had a fake punt converted.
Fake punt. That was
beautiful
some trickery.
Creativity.
Yes.
Executed nicely by our guy, the punter.
Yes. What's his name?
Bradley Mann?
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
For some reason, I want to say Bradley Mann.
That sounds pretty positive.
With 2 N's, right?
I'm not sure.
Who can get to it first? I'm going to get it before you get your phone out.
I have no idea who the punter is. We got to look him up. See that, man? See, that's the problem. We don't give the specialists enough love.
Braden Mann.
Oh, Braden Mann.
That was close.
Okay, you were very close.
There was so many moments I felt like where it could have been like, here we go.
Yeah.
This is the time.
This is the time now.
All right. Nice completion. Here we go. Let's go.
And then it fell flat.
Yeah.
But just going into this game, though, I did not feel good about this matchup. Even when we had our last time when we played Dallas, we go into the game, we come out of that game knowing that Dallas is a lot better than what people think they were.
Yeah.
And,
as we said on the show before, Dallas doesn't suck.
No, they don't. They are a really good team.
We like to say they suck, but they don't suck.
No, they don't. They are a solid team. And, I mean, I thought that they just came out there and just exerted their will on us. And Jason Avant before the game, and, I did an event with him over at the Eagles at the NovaCare facility. And I was telling him, man, I don't think we're going to do well in this game. Just because I think since the Jets showed the recipe right out the gate. I know Bosa came out and said, hey, we showed the recipe on how to beat the Eagles, but I think the Jets actually showed it about how they were coming downhill and were physical and took the fight to the Eagles. And then now you had Bosa that came in and showed, all right, you know what? All we have to do is bull rush. Bull rush the offensive line, bull rush the tackles, make that pocket collapse, make that pocket shrink, and then now you put Hurts in a blender by making him trying to escape and get out of the situation So Dallas does the same thing. One of the things that I noticed, and when I look at our tackles, and I was tweeting about this, is that I feel like they catch a little too much instead of punching. And when you do that, that collapses the pocket, and then now that's what causes some problems with the pressure.
Agreed. You know, when we were playing, it was, you know, punch, 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 punch. You know, the repetition. That's your like base. You're gonna kick back and you're gonna punch. First touch wins. I think that as the game progresses a little bit, I agree with you. First of all, I think that you can get caught into a technique too often and you just stay in it for too long when you got to change it up. You know, you got to have a tool bag. These guys are so advanced now where they're coming. Like if all you're going to do is set back on 5 and punch or 3 and punch, and they're going to end up beating that punch eventually. So I see exactly what you're saying. I do think that, you know, they probably got into a little. Lane had a very good game against Bosa where he was stabbing his outside hand and clamping his inside hand. And it worked really well on Bosa last week. He basically shut him down. You know, it looked to me like maybe Parsons was attacking that inside shoulder a little harder because he saw that he was grabbing with it rather than punching with the inside. And I saw in that first sack, you know, it looked like he did give up a little bit of space on the inside, but sometimes as a guard, when you're going for that cleanup shot, if you miscalculate your angle, bro, you're helping the defender.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're not helping your tackle at all. And so what I saw is it looked like Landon needed to come a little more inside out, and I think it kind of fought what Lane was trying to do there. You know, obviously it wasn't in a good position anyway, but the guard could have cleaned that up a little easier. Keeping him on the outside.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, they only gave up. When you go back and you look at the box score, and they only gave up 1 sack in this game, you know.
And that's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, and that's the one that we're talking about. But it just felt like, you know, you go into this game, and I know a lot of people were like, hey, man, you had some fans out there just saying, hey, run the ball. You all right, do this, do that. And I just felt like, all right, you go into this game, you see some motion, all right? Because everybody like, hey, there's a lack of creativity in the offense, and so we need to run some motions. We need to do this, we need to do that. And they tried to add some of it, but it felt like it was forced.
Yeah.
It was something that was more, it felt like it was forced, and like the players were, it really wasn't.
It's like, there,
yeah,
look it, I'm creative.
I did it. We did motion. Look, we sent Swift out of the backfield and we run a quarterback power where we're pulling Kelsey, a toss with the quarterback or whatever you want to call that play, and they ran that, about 2 or 3 times? To me, do I think that's enough? No, I don't think so. You know, I think that we have some really good receivers out there, some guys that can do something, but we have to add a little bit more creativity to our offense so that you can scheme some of these guys open.
Yeah. Well, I think what I saw yesterday was that you're just not seeing the consistency. You're seeing good plays, you're seeing big plays, but you're not seeing the consistency that you need to be able to dominate, you know, just impose your will on the other team. The Cowboys were doing that to us. Like, if they wanted to run, they were going to get at least 6 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just think that's, you know, I feel like it's a little bit of an experience on the play calling side of things. You know what I mean?
Well,
whatever. I don't want to sit here and lament and act like I can fix the world. So.
But before we go any further, let's just hear from our sponsor, Life Brand.
Let's face it, we've all posted things we regret. That's why we created Life Brand. Life Brand connects all of your social media accounts and then scans them for potentially compromising posts. With just a few clicks, you can delete old, potentially harmful social media posts so they're gone for good. It's fast, easy, and protects your privacy. Stay in control of your online reputation. Visit lifebrand.life today.
So now, here we're back, and we're going to try to move on to the Blanc de Blanc.
Blanc de Blanc.
The Blanc de Blanc, which is a 2019.
A little bubbly.
Yeah, a little bubbly.
A little bubbly.
Yeah.
I mean, nice and crisp. And generally you would drink this out of a flute, but we could fit more capacity in these.
And I like that, though.
That is good.
It's cool. It's kind of like a champagne, but since it's not from the French region.
Right. It's a Blanc de Blanc.
It's Blanc de Blanc. Because for it to be a champagne, it has to come from
Champagne.
From Champagne. Yeah.
Champagne, Illinois. No,
not Champagne, Illinois.
France.
Yeah, Champagne, France. It's right? That's Champagne, France? Yeah.
France. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oui.
Yeah, oui. Yeah.
This is delicious.
Yeah, Miss Lillian right now, who was my French teacher, during the time that I was taking French during my playing days would be proud of me right now.
What was the motive behind you taking French? Just expand the brain?
Yeah, just doing something different during the season. Just like, all right, you know what, I'm going to take some French classes.
Did you go put them in play? Did you go to France and talk to the
No,
people?
not yet. No. Every time we got ready to go over there, it was something that came up,
Do you feel like you could carry a conversation in
No,
French?
not at all.
But could you speak like, what's your age level? Maybe like 3-year-old French
I can tell you that I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
J'ai soif.
Can you say dog and cat?
No.
No. Okay.
I can ask you if you speak
But
French.
you said no with a nice
Parlez-vous
accent.
français?
Yeah.
I speak French.
I said no.
No. I have j'ai soif. I have thirst. My wife was way better.
Well, then you should drink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. You knew this game was going to be a challenge.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking is, it's not surprising. We were hoping that they would rise to the challenge of the spotlight, all of that, all the questions that have been out there, because I think early on we get caught up with the winning and how heroically they were winning these games, and it kind of like the focus was that rather than maybe some pretty obvious deficiencies that were there,
Big time.
And when you're winning, it's hard to really get critical and break it down or change a lot of things because you're still finding a will to win. But now you're seeing teams that are pretty well oiled, getting into the latter part of the season, getting geared up for playoffs and stuff. And I saw a graphic about how the Eagles are now wild card. They're the wild card right now.
Wow.
Which is perfect because they're like a wild card out there right now. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, but I think with this team, they need a bye week going into the playoffs. You need to have that first seed. You need to have a bye week, because I don't know, man. And then, now this gauntlet of teams was no joke. To come in, you got the Bills, you got San Fran, then now you had the Dallas, and then now you got to even go out to fly out to Seattle. That's no joke. To make that trip to Seattle, playing in the 12th man is, you know how it is out there, man. That's not an easy game.
Yeah.
That's not an easy game.
That's actually a really tough stadium to play in. They get loud out there.
Yeah, but back to this game here, I just felt like, after a certain point in this game, and you come out there and you have 3 turnovers. First of all, you start the first drive off with 3 penalties and a fumble. Jalen Hurts finishes that drive. First of all, Dallas comes out there and just made it look like light work. For that first drive. They made that first series just look like light work, just drove it right down the field, scored a touchdown. Now here's our chance to answer.
That's what they were expecting to do.
Yeah, here's our chance to answer. We come back and we have 3 penalties, 2 of them were false starts. And then you had a false start from Lane, a false start from Jordan Mailata, and then I don't know what the other penalty was. And then you had a fumble by Jalen Hurts right there on the 20-some yard line. That's tough to kind of overcome right out the gate.
Yeah, that's very hard to overcome. And it seems like just tiny little details, I used to think that this team, and I still do, but last night was obviously not an example of it. It's very detailed and has the guys taking care of all the little things in between what needs to be done, because those are the things that make you not jump off sides. Not have the mental errors and stuff out there is when you're detailed and you take care of all the little things that, but sometimes when you get a player's coach, they don't harp on those tiny little details, like touching the line every time if you're running, sprints or whatever. So,
Tell me this, and I just want you to be real, do you think there's a little too much attention to all of the outside stuff that happens? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think this is a classic case where the marketability has exceeded the product.
Yes.
I was thinking
think
about
so.
this on the way because, dude, this team is very marketable. They just look great on commercials, ads, documentaries, podcasts. Everybody's doing their own thing and. It's very easy, very marketable. They got a lot of publicity, but who's been kind of just quietly plugging away, staying on their business? Dallas.
Yeah, just keeping their mouth shut, just putting in the work, just keep grinding, putting in the work, moving along. To me, I feel
I don't know if they're as good as their market could be at this point.
Yeah, to me, I just feel like when you have a team that's making mistakes like this, and you're having breakdowns, maybe you got to peel some of this stuff back a little bit. I'm really glad that that Lane got recognized as the, that was one thing that we could have cheers to. Lane being one of the nominees for the Walter Payton Award.
Champagne.
Yeah,
Cheers to
champagne.
it right now.
Toast to you, Lane, for that.
Hell of a guy.
Yeah, hell of a guy. All right. Now, what I did not like is cameras in the meeting room showing Kelsey announcing it. I don't like that personally, because I'm an old school guy.
I agree. That's a moment that is just for that room.
It should be just for that room. Certain things don't need to be. I know that you
But
want.
but they're like, look at this. People are gonna eat this up.
Damn that! You just got your ass kicked. You just got your ass kicked against Dallas, and
But people love this.
oh, he got all emotional, and it was so cute. And I'm like, dude, okay, yeah, that's cool, but is there anywhere in that facility that there's not a camera in it? There has to be something that has to be only for players only. I get it. You want to pull the curtain back and you want to give the fans that experience, but then at some point it comes at a cost. And I don't know how much of it in a meeting room. If I know that these cameras can be accessed, you know what I'm saying?
Well, taking something like that and leaking it or putting it out there to try to generate emotion or love, it was great to see how much Lane means to his room and the guys in his room and how much he's grown and stuff like that. But I felt like that was a moment that, because I'm not in that room anymore, I shouldn't have got to enjoy that moment.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
I felt kind of like a peeping Tom watching it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is on necessarily the players. I think this is just an overall focus that's not directed the right way. Because whatever happened in there, Kelsey's not doing this because we're going to film this and show everybody the world, whatever. That was just a genuine thing that he was doing. And it's obviously a surveillance camera. That the players are being distracted by that. I think that's just something on the team that you should keep in-house as a private thing. You know what I mean? I feel like you're almost compromising the trust of the players in the security and the confidence of those meeting rooms at that point.
Yeah, I think so, Yeah.
Why don't we take a break, listen to our sponsors from Pinot's Palette.
Yes.
So, what's the perfect night out? Any night spent at Pinot's Palette. Pinot's Palette. Paint, drink, have fun. Sign up online for your class today.
So right now we're drinking the Reserve Chardonnay.
We're on to the Reserve Chardonnay.
2022.
Yeah. So 2022.
Hey, tell me if you think this is oaked or unoaked.
I think it's a naked.
I don't think that's a naked.
No, yeah, it has a little to it. Let's see. Huh?
Steel age?
Oh, this is still age, so it's naked.
You're right, Trey.
Yeah, I was right.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
You got to go with your instincts.
Yeah, I let you pull me off of it. I was like,
Steel
oh yeah,
age.
no, all right. I didn't trust my palate.
That is a nice, clean,
I like this one though.
very clean Chardonnay.
I'm gonna take a bottle of this one to go as well. I'll do the Reserve.
That would be great with
Chardonnay,
dinner,
yes,
dude. I would crush some food with that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that Mr. Hurt's demeanor has been praised on all levels of him being Mr. Steady, Mr. Calm, not letting it age you. I had a buddy that was, I was talking to on the way here, and he was just talking about how he's had enough. I've had enough of Mr. Unemotional. Your boy just kicked a 63-yarder in the freaking rain last week,
Yeah.
and you're just sitting there stone-faced, show some emotion, show some support for your teammates. It's kind of his angle. He's like, I've had enough of this. You need to, your players are going to think you're just a zombie if you don't show that emotion or that support or that emotional investment that everybody else is showing. I mean, A.J. Brown, maybe a little too emotional.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But what do you think about that? Have you seen enough of Mr. Composure, or do you think it's just who he is? And
I guess what I don't want him to be, what I don't want him to become is an act. You've built yourself to be this way now, and then now if you become that emotional guy where you're coming off the sidelines all fired up and all of this other stuff, does it become an act?
well, I don't. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't know.
And then because now,
What do you think about Patrick Mahomes becoming emotional?
okay, so Patrick Mahomes, okay. Because all I needed was a voiceover of when people be doing Patrick Mahomes' voice.
Oh, when they do like the silly voice.
Yeah, when they do the silly voiceover and he's all angry. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he was pissed.
Who do they have for his voice? Is it like Grover or something?
Yeah, no, it's Kermit the Frog.
Kermit.
Yeah, they do Kermit the Frog voiceover on him, man, and it's hilarious. My thing is, because Hurts has made himself like a robot type player right now, where everything is just I want to stay dialed in and I don't want to give up too much energy. I don't want it to become an act. Cats on the team will see through that.
Yeah.
You know, and once it becomes an act, then
I have a couple of people in mind.
Huh?
I have a couple of people in mind from our past experiences.
That where it was an act.
Yeah.
Or-
Do you think?
I don't know. Who
Do you
you
think?
thinking?
I don't want to name names. But
Okay.
I'm just thinking, do you think there was any acts that were expected every week?
I know. As someone
Without
that,
naming names. I'm
Without
just saying,
naming-
have you experienced that in the locker room? I feel like I have.
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you have. You know, you
It's
got
pretty
some.
phony sometimes.
Yeah, it's like, all right, you really wasn't feeling that. You know, as someone that would like try to break down the teams and stuff, sometimes, you know, because I used to do it a lot.
Sometimes when they like step out and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, what is
I'll
this?
never forget this one. One time in college, one of our like practice squad players, like, it was like the practice we just finished before like a huge rivalry. Everyone's hyped up. We just had a good practice, and the practice squad player was just like put his hand up and was like, "All right," tried to get everybody hyped up, and everybody was like, "What the fuck are you doing talking?"
What are you doing saying anything? Who gave you this?
It completely flipped the feeling of the moment.
Oh man, yeah. You know, as someone that has been like, all right, get in the middle of everybody and get out. Sometimes it's like it's tough. You know,
Yeah, because it was always expected that Trey would get us hyped up and break us down.
yeah, let's break it down. And it's like, all right, what am I going to say here? Am I feeling it?
What did I do last week?
Yeah, let's come up with something. You got to come up with something, you know. Were you there that time when McNair gave that speech when we got ready to play Dallas, and it was about the car with the wheels?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
So
I had forgotten about that until
no,
this moment.
I keep it fresh in my mind all the time when we get ready to play Dallas. So we go to Dallas, and you know, so we're in that little locker room where it's like,
Wait, are you exposing a surveillance video right now? Or is it passed long enough?
I think it's like the Kennedy assassination. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
You can show it over and over
Oh
now?
yeah, it's good. We're good. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the time has passed. But man, I just remember when we got ready and like Five gave this pregame speech, man.
It's the night before the game, right? Or was it?
No, it was right before the game.
Locker room, in the locker room.
Yeah, in the locker room when we get ready to go
yeah.
out on the field. And you know, and he gave this speech, man. And oh man, it was so terrible. And so we're all sitting there like, he's like, hey man, y'all gonna ride with me? And everybody like, hey, what are you talking about?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, I said, is you gonna ride with me? Oh yes, we're gonna ride with
That's
you.
what they're paying us for.
Yeah. So we go out there and we get our ass kicked. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. And I remember and he was like, man, I got that car and they got this beat out. And you had Jason Avant talking about, I want some beat out. Boy, that jump note was funny, man. It was one of the worst pre-game speeches.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Jason went to like church member, like,
Yeah.
I want the beat.
I want some beat out. Oh man, it was so funny, man. It was just a terrible speech. And we going out there and we got our ass kicked, man, and it was bad. And so we just, you know, and then like the following week, he tried to come back to that speech and we were like, all right, dude, just let it go.
But that's what's tough about being like, you know, the elected leader.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's looking at you like, oh, wonder what he's going to say today.
Yeah.
And then there's automatically judging you off your last performance.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he just didn't have it today.
Yeah, that's this one. It didn't land home. It was not a good vibe, you know. Man.
I don't want that. I don't want that on me. I don't want to be expected to deliver.
You
Who
know
do you
what?
think was the best at it? I think you did great. I don't think there was ever any times where we were like,
You know what?
Trey's stretching.
The first time I did it, I was so excited, and I jumped out in front of everybody, and there were a lot of swears, and let's say there were some inappropriate language that was being used, and
Unacceptable in today's culture.
yeah, totally unacceptable in today's culture. And so we come back in, and we have the you know how we go and pray in the locker room, and like my pregame speech was the topic of Doc's prayer.
Prayer in the shower.
Yeah, so we had prayer in the shower, and B Doc was like, hey man, you know, we pray that we control our tongues, and I was just like, all right, you know, all right.
Damn it, that's what I had going.
Yeah, you know, so now Doc is praying over me now in front of everybody, you know, because I think I got a little too excited, and it was the moment, because I just jumped in there.
I think
know?
I think maybe Doc summoned the spirit upon you.
Yeah, and I jumped in there, and I wasn't ready for the moment, and I was still young at the time, and wasn't really, you know, and I was very inappropriate at the time. But I got better after that. I always kept that in the back of my mind to kind of, you know.
Was everybody looking at you like,
Yeah, because then they were like, hey, they would get back in, get in there, break us down, and I'm like, oh man, okay, hey, here we go, let's do it, go team, you know. But making sure that I keep it super positive. You know,
well, it's a different role when you're a high draft pick and you're like, you know, there's a lot of expectation to come out of you, and you're automatically supposed to be injected into this leadership role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They're like, hey, spent a lot of money on you, asshole. You better wear off on some people here.
I need you to bring some guys along with you. All right. So, yeah. But at that time, I was a little young and mature in my words, and yeah. But it's hard. I think that what hurts, you know, that's going to be the thing, you know, that, you know, would it help if he comes with the energy and a little bit more fire brimstone? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because
it might seem fake at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point it would come off as an act, and it's hard to overcome that once they feel like it's an act.
When they show his face and the other team scores, and like you know, when they're trying to get back, I would like to see him like look and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
You know, just like instead of just being like,
yeah, just sitting there, just staring.
God
up.
Is good.
Yeah. All the time.
Dude,
all the time, God is good. Just get me through. You know. Dude. Oh man.
Would you like to be your emotional player on your team? Your linebackers?
Yeah.
Your Ray Lewis's?
Yeah, I want my linebackers. For us, it was B-Dog. You know what I'm saying? B-Dog, his energy. One of the things that I loved about B-Dog and just playing with someone like that is to see how that flips, you know, that switch when it became game time. Because you know how B-Dog was on a day-to-day basis. Very cerebral, just a very calm cat. Really didn't get into all the jokey joke stuff and was, you know, just real laid back. But man, on Sundays,
about his business.
Oh my God, on Sundays when his name was called, for him to come out of that tunnel and just to see the energy and how he became, it's like he literally, when he had those two lockers where it was Brian Dawkins and Weapon X, he became Weapon X, and it was just amazing to see that transformation.
Not everybody has a huge display during introductions like Weapon X did. You know, I mean, to me, it felt like a little much.
Weapon X? Come on, dude, that was so
no,
awesome,
I know.
man.
Listen, I know I get a lot of pushback for that, but to me, it seemed like a little much.
Man, Weapon X, dude, it was so awesome,
and
man.
I was like, how are you even going to play a football game now? You got to be exhausted.
Dude,
out here worming across the ground.
Dude, to come out there crawling, man. Like, dude, like I wish physically I could do that where I come crawling. And the way he would jump up in the air, man, with the dude, like
the pound on the ground.
Yeah, dude, like that was crazy, man. Like
it was crazy.
It didn't go out there and go play the game.
And the fans loved it.
It was amazing, dude. Like I wish that I could, like when they call, hey, 72 Tra Thomas, and I could come out there crawling. You know what I'm saying? Bouncing up and down on the ground.
I wish you would have. That would have been great.
It would have been amazing. You know, my shoulders would be blown out, you know, and I would be done.
You're over there with the mask on before
right.
the game.
Right, like I need three oxygen tanks right now just to kind of get ready for the game because I'm done.
Today's wine word of the day is sabrage.
Sabrage.
Is that how you say it?
I'm
Sabrage.
not sure.
Yes. So sabrage is the act of opening a bottle of bubbly with an actual saber, a sword. You see people doing this sometimes, very decorative. And they go, yeah. And they run it along the edge of the bottle, and it gets out there and hits the little mushroom top of the cork and pulls it right out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the foam, and then they pour it and toast and sabrage.
Sabrage.
In case you were wondering.
Yes.
Supposedly, it was started by Napoleon and his army. When they were conquering, they would take bottles of champagne.
Sharp bottles of champagne.
And sabering that shit with their sabers, sabrage. And then they'd get drunk and be merry.
And be merry.
Today's wine word of the day is brought to you by Birds Nesting. Birds Nesting is a real estate and lifestyle service for professional athletes, coaches, and their families. Moving to a new city is a big change and comes with its challenges. Let Birds Nesting assist you in finding your new home, community, with their trusted connections and recommendations. Please go to birdsnestingphl.com for more information. Birds Nesting.
For an easy landing.
For an easy landing.
Easy. All right. So what are we moving on to?
We're on some red here, so we're going to do the 5 Gen.
Yes.
Which I believe is probably short for 5 generations.
All right.
It is a medium body.
Absolutely.
It's nice. Speaking of medium bodies, good to see Goddard back out there being productive, right?
Absolutely. It was very good to see Goddard back out there, you know, with the heavy forearm tape.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, before we get into talking about what I actually think was the biggest key of the game.
Okay.
What do you think about, we did blitz a little bit here and there, right? And then they also blitzed us too. It just seemed like they had a quicker answer and a better answer for our blitzes than we had for their blitzes.
Yeah, well, I think that with CeeDee Lamb is the answer for them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a slot receiver. He's going to be the one.
Also crushing with Ferguson on a lot of them blitz
Yeah, because he's going to get some of those short underneath routes. Because anytime you have a blitz, you got to have some hot reads for the answer. And I think that they did a good job of having some of those hot reads there that they can get rid of the ball. I think that one of the things that hurts our offense and that you see is that there are not a lot of hot reads. There are not a lot of those.
As soon as I see all these guys coming, I'm like, oh, perfect, somebody's going to be open, hit them quick. And then it's like,
no.
He throws it, somebody's covered. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because it's all these long, deep routes, everything.
You got to have a safety valve, which is usually a tight end.
The tight
Do you think
end.
they're trying to have too many complex routes for Goddard in this offense, maybe?
I'm not quite sure what it is. You know, I think that sometimes, you might have Goddard downfield a little too much, or think that people are keying on him where they say, all right, you know what? We know that Goddard is going to be the release valve. Then, all right, because if they send too many, then that means that the back is going to have to get involved into the protection, and that's one outlet that's not there. And then now you only got Goddard, and you got your other 2 receivers that's out there. Boom, you know, we got to stop. You know, so I think that that's one of the problems that you're just seeing is that sometimes the hot reads aren't there, or they take away the hot reads. You take away the big time receiver. Another thing that I thought, and a lot of people were saying this about Hurts, is that, you know, they say, okay, he's a first read quarterback. All right. And they're saying, all right, how do you train a quarterback to be second and third read? Well, but you know how it is in practice. They always give the quarterbacks that first read. Hey, good job, good read, boom. All right, move on to the next play.
Offense is clicking.
Yeah, offense is clicking. All right. The secondary is never going to take away those reads to force him to get to the second and third read, because you don't want to frustrate the quarterback. You want to keep his energy high, keep his confidence high, and you never force him to, you never tell the defense, all right, take this read away, take that read away, make him 1, 2, 3, get to his third option. Yeah. So it's always in practice, and a lot of people, I don't think people realize it's in practice, it's always about, hey, all right, good job. We're moving along. Good job.
Timing was great.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. You got rid of the ball on time. It was the first read. Okay, yeah, you got to that one right there. Good job. We're moving on to the next play. But I think that one of the things that could help this team is you say, all right, you know what? Scout team, this is what his first read is. Take that away. This is what his second read is. Take that away. Make him sit in the pocket. 1, 2. All right, I need to find this right here. Because a lot of times in practice, what happens is they drop back, they get rid of the ball on the first read, then they go through the motions on the second and third read instead of saying, all right, you know what? The first read was taken away. The second read was taken away. All right, now I have to actually throw the ball to my third read. And that just does not happen in practice, and that's been going on since the beginning of time.
I think that seems like a pretty good assertion right there. What we got.
All right, so
I don't really got a whole lot to add to that. This 5 Gen is delicious. I got hints of black fruits, black fruits in there. One thing that I will bring up. That's good.
Yeah.
Every coordinator that I've ever had has always said, you win the turnover battle, you win the game, right? And we had 3 turnovers yesterday.
Yeah.
Generally, if you take the ball from them more than they take the ball from you, you have better odds of winning.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about the flow of the game and how everything was going, it seemed like just as soon as we tried to get something rolling, we had a good positive play, a good positive run, a nice catch, blah, blah, we'd cough up the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just, do you think you get to a point in the season where you stop focusing on ball security and you start getting to like scheme? Like, are you still having these guys run the gauntlet and bashing them with the pads and like, hey, we got to do this weekly?
Well, I think at this point in the season, you can't really risk doing all of that, because I mean that could cause injury. That could cause.
You gonna be injured by a foam bat?
I don't know. But I think at some point you have to, because you got to take the pads. Well, they don't practice like that in too much anymore anyway. You know what I'm saying? So they're not doing pads.
Outlawed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think at some point you feel like, all right, you should have this under control. But it seems like to me that Dallas practiced that. There was a lot of coming in, tackling, trying to punch at the ball. You know what? You never see that on our end. If anytime somebody makes a tackle.
Never. I think we had it maybe a week ago. We had somebody punch the ball out.
We had somebody punch the ball out?
Yeah.
Against who?
I think it was either last week or the week before.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
I don't know.
You're not going to make me recall an exact play.
I don't know.
But I do remember seeing it and being like, wow. I can't believe I just saw an Eagle player punch the ball out.
But you see, to me, it seems like other teams drill it way more than we do because you see a lot more punch outs or ripping at the ball when tackles are made. Because, I mean, we come out of there with 3 turnovers.
I think that just shows just an area of focus on, not just the coordinator, but the coaches, like where they want to focus. They want to focus on scheme and trying to have everybody in the right spot at the right time, or if they want to focus on, possibly changing the outcome of the game on every play.
Yeah.
Like those are little things that literally change the game.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, man.
All right, man.
Yeah. I don't know. This game pissed me off. So pissed off. But all right, so let's talk about this dude here, man. Because I mean,
who are we talking about?
The kicker for Dallas.
Oh, the soccer player?
Dude, man. Like,
he came over here like, why do you guys make this look so hard?
Dude, like, I mean, he this dude.
He went 60, 59, 45, 42 or something like that.
Yeah, what is it? Turpin is his name, I believe?
No, that was the returner.
That's the returner. Okay, yeah, my bad. I'm looking at this wrong.
Begins with the A, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. Brandon Aubrey.
Yes. So Brandon Aubrey.
Soccer player.
Who is an animal. I think that he could probably kick a 70-yard field goal.
Strong leg.
Hit
the net on his 60-yarder.
Yeah, easy. Dude, like easy. I mean, dude. And he had kickoffs where it was hitting the crossbar.
I just think, How cool of a feeling would that be to not even be a football player and then just come over and dominate like that and just be like, oh, this is hard for you guys? Looking at other kickers like, so is the hard part getting it between the posts or getting it far enough?
Yeah. So,
Because he didn't seem to have a problem with either.
No. And then it's in the dome. I mean, well, not a dome. I mean, because Jerry's World, you can close it up. You can open it
Yeah,
up.
but I don't think you're getting a whole lot of
there's no
weather
wind.
conditions in there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty protected.
I think he go out
You
there.
just get a little sunshine.
Yeah, he go out to Denver. He'll kick an 80-yard field goal. That's ridiculous, dude.
All right, so is this a trend creator where we're going to see more people fish in the soccer leagues?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what we have here is a 2021 State Reserve Chamberson. Yeah. At our very first show, these are the grapes we ate, Chamberson.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Yeah.
You know, the sun came up. There'll be another football game this week.
There'll be another football game. You're going out to the 12th man. How many times have you played out there?
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, dude, this has been this week and last week are both going to be good weeks for me. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of exposure on these weeks.
Okay.
Because I caught a touchdown both in Dallas and in Seattle.
When was the first time you caught the first
was
touchdown
in
you caught was in
Seattle,
Seattle? Yeah. I remember we were like, all right, dude. So we sat there. I remember when the play happened. I don't even think I really blocked my guy because I'm like, oh man, I just want to see if he's going to catch it.
Bro, wouldn't it have been funny if he ended up getting a sack and I never got to? I just want to see.
I just want to see if he's going to catch it, because I remember we practiced it. And I was like, man, yeah, Todd, yeah.
We had that formation called so many times before we actually called the play that in my mind, they're just teasing me with that in practice. They're never going to call it. Every time I come out here, it's a run play.
Hell yeah. But then,
so apparently I was a run read for Daryl Tapp, too, because he was guarding me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Run read.
But, dude, you have 2 touchdowns under your belt.
2 touchdowns.
Cheers to that, man.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. That is awesome.
It's a big 2 weeks for your boy here. The memories.
Yeah, man, because I couldn't remember if it was Dallas or if it was Seattle and it was Seattle.
Well, actually, the first one was Seattle, and then the next one was in Dallas.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome, dude. 2 touchdowns, man.
Brothers Chamberson.
I think it's good. I think it's a really good wine. I like it.
Let me ask you one question to wrap up here.
Okay.
You're going in, because they're probably not going to get a little Victory Tuesday this week, I doubt, You're going into work tomorrow. What are you doing? What are you pointing that magic wand at tomorrow for the Eagles?
To fix?
Yeah. Is there one thing you thought was glaring?
Creativity in the offense, but I mean, how can you fix that overnight?
That's what I feel like a lot of people don't get. There's guys in the league, in the coaching sphere, that are just like that guy. That they have that creativity, they have that outside of the box thinking, and they just they can own people. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I feel like Shane Steichen was that guy.
Yeah.
I
don't know how you're going to fix what their problems are in one day or within 2 days. I think they tried. They knew that, all right, going into this game, hey, we're last in the league in motions. So, all right, what are we going to do? We're going to throw some motions in there. All right, here you go. But it looked...
Going through the emotion.
Yeah, it looked forced.
It was going through the motion.
But when I sat down and I broke down the San Fran film, I clipped a lot of that. Because I'm like, man, as someone that coaches or that wants to get into that, man, looking at the San Fran film and seeing how they set up their plays and how they used motions and formations. Yeah. And just seeing how they used all of that to set up their plays, I thought it was awesome. I think that at this point, is it too late? Because a lot of that is timing. A lot of that, it would be a lot of repetition that just has to happen through camp, and it has to be part of your DNA. And I don't know if it's too late to even start some of that.
I don't think that they're at a point where that stuff's not there. Every every offense I've been a part of has had the creative plays. It's just a matter of like having the balls to call the creative plays in the right time. You know what I mean? So I think, could you rep some creative plays during the week and get to a point where your timing's good and stuff like that? Yeah, of course you could. It's just a matter of whether you want to dust those plays off and get out of the kind of like basic vanilla things you've been leaning on your superstars to just take to the next level.
Because I think for us, it just seems like everybody, we just line up and just go. But when you look at what Shanahan was doing, man, there was so much movement. Even when you look at what's going on down in Miami, there's a lot of movement. Everybody's doing this and moving, motion, yada, yada, yada. Defenses have to be on pointing out who they're going to go, and bam. We usually line up in shotgun. Everybody's good. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So you saw in this past game, all right, hey, let's send Swift out of the backfield. It takes that one linebacker out of there. And then now here we got a quarterback toss that's going into the game plan because you're going to leak Kelsey. You know, other than that, I really just, yes, you can add something into it, but it's almost like at this point, you know how coaches have egos and everybody that's like everybody saying, all right, you know what? We're going to go and copy the brotherly shove. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches, no one wants to do that. So no one wants to say, all right, you know what I came up with is not working. So I'm going to go and look at what San Fran is doing and try to implement that into my game plan. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think that's going to be a problem. And then can you address it right out the gate? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But you got the 12th man coming up. It's going to be loud.
That's tough.
It's going to be loud. It's a long flight. You know?
Well,
Popeyes for everyone.
we'll be watching.
And we definitely will be watching. All right, let's get Dan in here.
Welcome back. We are joined by Dan Ledden.
Yes.
Here at William Heritage Vineyards. What is your position here, Dan? I know that you do a little bit down here in the tasting house and up at the actual winemaking.
So I'm basically a production assistant. They tell me what to do and I go do it.
Okay.
Well, you're very knowledgeable about all the wines that we've been talking about today, so I appreciate that. What are we drinking here?
This is a Pétillant Naturel. This is a way of making a wine where we start the ferment inside the steel container, and then we'll take some of that before it's finished in ferment and let it finish ferment in the bottle.
Okay.
So, what do I see here up at the, up here?
Okay, so inside that bottle, we're going to have some of the dead yeast cells that are in there, tartrates. Tartrates are acids that are left behind. You'll see them floating around. They're hard.
Okay, yeah.
Hard
Some people
and-
call that sediment, but that looks a little more.
Oh, definitely, there is sediment in there, and some tartrates.
Okay, so that's dead yeast cells. There's no skin or any like remnants or anything like
No,
that in
no.
there. That's literally just the.
So what happens is the yeast dies eventually, and it doesn't use up all those acids, and that forms the tartrates. And then that's that little hard stuff that's at the bottom.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it's good for you. It's got the active yeast in it.
Yeah, it's all good,
Help
man.
with the
Cheers.
belly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. And a Pétillant is a natural bubble, basically, right?
Right. It's a sparkling wine. You can make it within the year.
How long can this sit for, or does this got to be drank ASAP?
I'm going to say it has to be drank within a year, maybe two at the most.
Tell me one thing about your favorite thing about just working here, at William Heritage. You know, the process, all of that.
Well, it's an environment you can still learn from. I'm a retired teacher, and I like the fact that you can still be learning something, doing something physically, and getting involved. This family takes care of the workers. It's a great environment. I love working here with these guys, and in fact, my daughter and my son both work for this family,
Okay.
and they got me in.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Awesome.
And then I got a retirement job.
Awesome.
All right, good.
Well,
So
you know,
keeps me busy. I can't sit at home and do nothing.
Yeah.
a good teacher is never not a student.
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh? I think
And,
about that
yeah,
one.
that was pretty solid there. You know? And then both of us come from parents that are teachers as well, because his dad is a teacher.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
mom, my parents
Yeah.
were teachers
Right, well,
as well. Yeah.
same with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us out, man. This has been awesome. You guys have
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
great
thanks
wine.
for having us. Yeah.
continue to enjoy your education on the site education, as well as
That's right.
being able to
Hands-on.
sample.
Yes, this
Well,
is
this
awesome.
Pet Nat Rosé is delicious.
Yeah, it is
Thank
really
you
good.
for
I like
joining
that.
us.
Yes.
Thank you for having
Cheers.
us. Yeah, cheers. All right.
Thanks for letting me on.
I need the Eagles to win.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
catch up with you next week. Go Birds. We
Go
need
Birds,
a dub.
yeah.
We need a dub.